I'll admit it, I was wrong. The Pulsefire Haste is actually better than the Model O, potentially even in Minecraft. This all started when I made a video comparing the two, saying the Model O was better. But after trying this mouse again, I think I have a change of heart, at least for the two wired versions. So in this video, I'll compare the two mice from a general perspective and then from a Minecraft perspective, and tell you which one I actually think is better. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Right, so up first, let's compare the shapes of the two. The overall dimensions of both are pretty similar, but the Model O is slightly larger, in length at least. I would say they're both good for all three major grip styles, but if you're gonna main palm, I just wouldn't go with either of these. Now, on my preference, I prefer the overall size and dimensions of the Haste, but I prefer the Model O's comfort grooves. So I can't really give you a clear winner on the shape, and really shape is preference to whatever your hand size is and whatever your grip style is. Up next, let's talk about the clicks. This is what the Haste sounds like. Its main switches are the TTC golds. Now this is what the Model O sounds like, which uses 20mm Omrons on its main switches. This is the travel on the Haste, and this is the travel on the Model O. Overall, when it comes to the buttons and the switches, I think the Haste takes the win here by a noticeable amount. The TTC switches are really light and easier to actuate and have a less amount of travel, which ultimately makes them feel better in my opinion. Both scroll wheels feel kind of loose, but I think the Haste has more defined steps in it. The only buttons I feel like the Model O did better are the side buttons. The Haste side buttons kind of have a lot of travel to them in my opinion. I also think the placement of the side buttons are better on the Model O. When it comes to the glide, I think the Haste here is better. I didn't compare it to my Model O wireless because it's a wireless mouse, and the main comparison in this video is against the wired Model O, so I compared it to my wired Model D, which has a very similar weight and the exact same feet as a Model O. Yeah, I know this glide comparison is pretty scuffed because I don't own a wired Model O, but I think this Model D is similar enough to get similar results. But yeah, the Pulsefire Haste, it's really light. It's 59 grams, which is almost 10 grams lighter than a Model O. So yeah, it's gonna glide better. I think the feet are slightly worse, but I think the weight really makes up for it. So yeah, just imagine if you got core pads, this thing would be really good with gliding. So I mentioned that the Pulsefire Haste could potentially be better than the Model O in Minecraft. And take a look at my butterfly flick with the Haste. I can get up to 25 CPS, and it's really easy to actuate again because it's lighter actuation and a shorter travel distance. Now the Model O does match that, but again, it's heavier switches, more travel distance, it's harder to get to. So if you're a butterfly clicker, it's more effortless on the Haste. Now I can't jitter click, so I can't tell you which one's better, but I can only assume it's a Haste because again, lighter actuation. Now in drag clicking though, the Model O did get more CPS. So if you strictly just want something to God bridge or drag click with, the Model O is better. But if you're mainly like a butterfly clicker or jitter clicker, the Haste might be a better fit for you. Now that doesn't mean the Model O isn't still an amazing Minecraft mouse for $50. I'm just saying you might have another option here, a lighter option. Now overall, back to the general perspective and not the Minecraft perspective, I honestly do think that the wired Pulsefire Haste is better than the wired Model O. The wireless is a different story, mainly because it's wireless, not wired. But yeah, I'm sorry for having that review where I said the Model O is better. My thoughts have changed, but overall, I don't think either of these are bad for $50. You can't go wrong, but from a general standpoint and what my recommendation for $50 is, it's the Haste.